Hello, I'm Toni Fein, and I'm happy to be reading with you today. What do you think this book is going to be about? What's that girl doing? She's walking, isn't she? The title is The Listening Walk. The author is Paul Showers, and the illustrator who drew the pictures is Aliki. The Listening Walk. What do you think they're going to do on that walk? The title gives us a hint, doesn't it? The Listening Walk. I think they're going to be listening to something. But what? What do you think they're going to hear? Shall we read and find out? The Listening Walk. There she is, putting on her shoes. Do you put your shoes on when you get ready to go for a walk? I do. I do too. I like to take walks. I take walks with my father and our dog. Our dog is called Major. There's her dog. He is an old dog, and he doesn't walk very fast. Do you walk fast? Or do you like to walk slowly? Sometimes. Both, maybe. A little of one and a little of the other. We go down the street, and we do not talk. My father puts his hands in his pocket and thinks, and Major walks ahead and sniffs. I keep still and listen. What do you use when you listen? Do you use your mouth when you listen? Or do you use your ears? That's right, we use our ears to listen. And if we're quiet, we can hear more. I call this a listening walk. On a listening walk, I do not talk. I listen to all the different sounds. I hear many different sounds when I do not talk. What do you think she hears right now? It looks like Major is smelling the ground. Can you make a noise like a dog sniffing? Makes a little noise, doesn't it? First, I hear Major's toenails on the sidewalk. Major has long toenails. Can you see those? When he walks, his toenails scratch the sidewalk. They go twick, 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 twick. Can you make that noise? Twick, 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 twick. I also hear my father's shoes on the sidewalk. My father walks slowly, and his shoes go doop, doop, doop. Can you stamp your foot and make a doop, doop, doop kind of noise? But I can't hear my shoes on the sidewalk because I wear sneakers. Sneakers have soft soles, so they don't make very much noise at all. Not unless you stamp hard and want them to make noise. There, her father and the girl walking along. What do you think they hear now? What's in that picture? I hear all sorts of sounds when I am on a listening walk. I listen to sounds I never listened to before. I listen to lawnmowers. Is that what you said? Lawnmowers are very noisy. A lawnmower makes a steady zooming noise. It goes zoom. It's a lot of noise from a lawnmower. Can you make that noise? Zoom. The author wrote a lot of letters to make a long noise. Z's and O's and M's. Zoom. It's fun to make a zoom, isn't it? What's next? I like to listen to lawn sprinklers. Lawn sprinklers are very quiet. They make different sounds. Some sprinklers make a steady whispering sound like this. As it sprinkles off. But other sprinklers go around and around, and they go like this. There she is running away. It looks like the sprinklers swirled around and started to get her wet. Doesn't look like she wants to be wet today, but sometimes it's fun to get into a sprinkler, isn't it? When it's very hot, it's nice to get in the sprinkler. On a listening walk, I hear cars in the street. The shiny new ones are quiet. They make only a soft But old cars are very noisy. Old cars might sound like this. Bracka, 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 bracka. Or when cars go around a corner too fast, the tires go as it curves around the corner. They squeak a little, don't they? They screech a little. Or when cars need to stop suddenly. Look at, does that car need to stop suddenly? Yes, it does. Look what's in front of the car. It stops quickly so it doesn't hurt the cat. And the brakes go. Can you make a noise like a brake? That's right. On a listening walk, I hear all kinds of sounds. A bicycle bell ringing. Tring, tring. Can you make a bell noise? Tring, tring. Or a baby crying? Wah. Or a jet flying overhead. Jets are very noisy when they're overhead. A jet goes, as it goes past. Or a boy dribbling a basketball. Bomb, 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 bomb. Can you make a bomb, bomb, bomb noise as though you're bouncing a ball? That's what it sounds like, doesn't it, when you bounce a ball? Bomb, 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 bomb. A lady hurries by us. She is wearing high heels. Look at those fancy purple shoes. The lady's high heels go tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock as she walks along. A bus is coming, and the lady starts to run. Tick, 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 tick. She's going faster. Tick, 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 tick. The bus stops at the corner. Psst. It lets out some air. Can you make that noise? Psst. So that it sinks down and it's easier for the lady to climb on. Now it's ready to go, and the bus starts up. What kind of noise do you think a bus makes? Can you make a bus noise as it's driving away? They're quite loud. Buses are big. That's a nice bus noise. Around the corner, men are digging up the street. They are using a jackhammer. It makes a loud banging sound. Tack, 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 tack. Oh, look, the girl thinks it's very loud. She's got her hands over her ears. The jackhammer hurts my ears. I put my hands over my ears as we walk by. It makes it a little softer, doesn't it, when you put your hands over your ears? But it's still pretty loud. Can you make a jackhammer noise? The noise it makes as it breaks up the concrete to build a new road? Tick, 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 tick. Tick, 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 tick. That's a good jackhammer noise. Sometimes my father and I take Major to the park. It's quiet there. It looks peaceful in the park, doesn't it? No cars. The sounds in the park are not loud like the noises on the street. My father and I walk down a shady path. I do not talk. I listen. I listen to my father's shoes on the soft path. They make a soft sound here. They go chuff, 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 chuff. That's different. On the sidewalk, it made a louder thump, 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 didn't it? But in the park, it's softer because the ground is soft. I listen to the birds in the park. I listen to the pigeons and the ducks. The pigeons fly down to meet us. You can hear as they fly down to meet you. They take tiny little steps. They come toward us, nodding their heads, and they say, "Proo, proo, proo, proo." Can you nod your head and make a pigeon noise? Proo, proo. Feed me some crumbs. Feed me some crumbs. She has looks like breadcrumbs in her bag, doesn't she? And she's tossing them to the pigeons. Pigeons say, "Thank you for feeding me. Prue, prue." Would you like to feed a pigeon some breadcrumbs one day? I like to do that too sometimes. Oh, and here she's giving some breadcrumbs to the ducks, isn't she? They're ducklings and grown-up ducks. At the pond, the ducks are waiting. They want us to feed them too. The small ducks swim up close. There they are, right next to her. They turn their heads to one side and look up at us. Turn your head to one side and look up. The small ducks waggle their tails and quack. They say, "Gank, gank, wonk, wonk, gank, 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 gank." They make smaller noises because they're small. The big ducks are not so brave. They stay back and swim around in circles. The big ducks look at us, but they do not come close. The big duck says, "Quack, quack, 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 quack." They're a little louder when they quack, aren't they? Can you make a quacking noise like a duck? Quack, 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 quack. Sometimes I hear a woodpecker in the park. The woodpecker sounds like a hammer. He goes, rat-a-tat-tat, dat-dat-dat-dat-dat-dat-dat-dat. There he is, pecking at the bark. Dat-dat-dat-dat-dat-dat. Oh, he's looking for insects for his lunch. Woodpeckers think insects are delicious. Do you think insects are delicious? I don't. People don't usually eat insects, but woodpeckers love a juicy insect for their lunch. In the park, I hear crickets in the grass, and the crickets go, "Creak, creak, creak, creak." I hear wind in the leaves, and it whispers, whoosh. There it is. It's blowing her hair, and it's blowing some leaves, too. Can you make a noise like the wind? Whoosh. I also hear bees buzzing around in the flowers. What noise does a bee make? Bzzz. The bee buzzes around till it finds a flower to sip the nectar. Can you be a busy bee? Bzzz. It's fun to go on a listening walk. You do not have to go far. You can walk around the block and listen. You can walk around your yard and listen. Here she's in her yard. What do you think she might hear in her yard? I see two cats. I think they're talking to each other. They say, meow, meow. Can you say meow in cat talk? Meow. You do not even have to take a walk to hear sounds. There are sounds everywhere all the time. All you have to do is keep still and listen to them. What does she have in her hand here? I think it's a mouse. What sound does a mouse make? Squeak, 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 squeak. Right now there are sounds you can hear. When you finish this page, close the book and listen. How many different sounds can you hear right now? Close your book and count them. Should we listen? What do you hear at your house? Can you hear something? At my house, I can hear the wind in the leaves. And I think I hear a car going past too. I hope you enjoyed reading the listening walk with me today. Maybe you'll take a listening walk this week and see what sounds you hear on your walk. I hope you have fun, and I look forward to seeing you next week for a brand new book. Bye.